Nab, and I've been interviewing candidates who are running for office within Loudon County and the municipalities. This is a Loudon City Council race. And to begin, would you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about who you are. And as I'm understanding it, you've served on council before, maybe not an immediate incumbent, but just kind of explain that for us.
Okay. My name's Michael Cartwright. A lot of people around town either call me Mike or Cartwright. Depends on how mad they are at me. Was born here in Loudon. My family has been here at least since the late 1800s.
Oh, wow.
My family are the Tillies, and a lot of older residents knew most of my aunts and uncles.
Right.
I was actually born in the old Bacon Hospital.
Oh, wow.
I've owned several businesses in Loudon, restaurants. I used to have TC's Pizza, and I've owned a catering business for the last 20 years. My wife is Diane Dodson Cartwright from Philadelphia, and we will be married 37 years this October.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Thanks. I appreciate that. She probably appreciates it more than I do, though. I served on city council. I was first elected in 1989.
Okay.
And I served a total of 21 years between 89 and 2014.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
For residents who may not be familiar with city government, can you kind of explain what the city of Loudon is responsible for and what city government serves and all that goes along with that?
Well, basically, your local city government is going to take care of your basic services throughout the city. Emergency services such as police and fire. They're also going to take care of the infrastructure, pavement of roads, street lights, items like that. And they're also going to provide sanitation services and also community spaces such as parks, the amphitheater, and items like that. Loudon also has their own utilities.
Okay.
And they provide the utilities through the Loudon Utilities Board.
I will ask a question that we've not talked about, but if you're a member on Loudon City Council, are you on the LUB board as well?
No.
No.
Now that, and I know you're probably talking about our friendly city to the north of us, Lenore City. Now their city council does serve as their utility board also. In Loudon, the utility board is made up of 5 directors.
Okay.
And those are appointed by the mayor. Now, the city council, one of the city councilmen is appointed to be their representative on the utility board.
Okay. How would you describe the working relationship between the city and Loudon County, as well as the neighboring municipalities? What's working well, and if there's any room for improvement, where do you see that?
Well, like a family, or like 2 brothers, or siblings, I'll say, Loudon City and Loudon County both have a long history of working with each other.
Right.
Such as the landfill and then several industrial parks in the area. And again, like any family, there can be some disagreements. But by and large, the city and the county get along well. Of course, you've got different people,
right?
In various stages along the years. But I think by and large that the city and the county cooperate very well. And as far as our neighboring cities, I know that when there's problems, I know that we've sent fire trucks to Lenore City or Philadelphia if there's been fires, and they've responded and helped us out. But I think if you look at Loudon County as a big family, you expect some friction at times, but hopefully everybody shows up at Christmas dinner.
Right. Looking back over your time on the council, what accomplishment are you most proud of, and what do you believe the council and city as a whole accomplished during your time in office?
Well, first off, the city council is more of a group,
Right,
not as an individual accomplishment.
right,
And then, and I'm going to tell you now, I served with some really great people on city council. That was my good luck, and their bad fortune to have to serve with me, I guess. But in my time on city council, we saw, a lot of the parks that the people enjoy in town today were created in that time.
okay,
The amphitheater was built during that time. We had a lot of industrial development in that time. Um, I tend not to dwell on the past.
right.
It doesn't matter what happened to me. It doesn't matter what accomplishments that we've done then. We still need to do better going forward.
Right. So, speaking of looking at now and going forward, what do you feel the financial position of Loudon is, and what are your goals long term?
Well, I don't know if the city is in as good a financial shape as it was 10 or 12 years ago.
Okay.
Uh, I know our previous, or in my opinion, I think our previous city manager probably took us into a direction that I would not have agreed with, which is I think the city almost went into the real estate business.
Okay.
But it is what it is. I think we're in a decent financial position. I do not think we're in trouble.
Right.
And what was the second part of that question?
Just what your long term goals would be for Loudon moving forward.
I think my long term goals for Loudon would be what most people's are, to be able to live here, to be able to prosper here, and to be able to enjoy living here. And I think that is something that I could help them do. Loudon has really been blessed. We've had good growth in our industrial base, which helps fund our budget.
Right.
Because you have to look at the factories in town. They pay taxes, but they don't reap the benefits like a resident would.
Right.
They don't have to. We don't have to worry about picking up garbage. We don't have to worry about providing police protection, mostly.
Right.
So, but I think if we can just continue that going forward, that will help. But I'm all about fiscal responsibility.
Politics often receives more attention than policy, and this, I believe, is a nonpartisan race. As a Loudon City Council member, you represent everyone, regardless of political affiliation. How do you believe your political, personal opinions influence the way you govern, and how do you ensure you're serving the whole community?
Well, everyone's philosophy is going to dictate what they do 90 to 100% of the time. You have to get someone who, I feel like I'm a moderate or a temperate. If someone has a different outlook or a different belief than I do, that's fine. I would hate for there to be a world with 7 billion Michael Cartwrights in it, because we'd be fighting all the time. You just have to respect people's views and opinion. Now, I am of the mind that if someone votes for me, they're voting for me because they think I'm going to do the best job that I can. You cannot do what 100% of the people want, because some people are going to want you to turn left, some people are going to want you to turn right, some are going to want you to go forward. And you can't do that. All you can do is the best you can do. You have to make a concerted effort to listen to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And something I learned a long time ago, and I don't know if you ever heard of it, but is the feel, felt, found.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know how you feel because I felt the same way, but here's what I found out. I'm willing to listen to any idea that anyone has, and if they can convince me that they're right, I'm happy to change my position. I don't have a problem with that. But they ought to give me the same opportunity to convince them that I'm right.
Right.
That's all I ask for.
What are your top priorities over the next 4 years if reelected? What policies, projects, or initiatives would you like to see accomplished?
And I'm going to tell you, Loudon has such potential in so many areas.
Mm-hmm.
I think probably one of the biggest areas that we should keep our eye on is services. I mean, we need to keep providing the level of services that we do. I think that's a priority. But I also think that, I had to put my glasses on now. I think we need to develop a real viable riverfront plan.
Okay.
I think we also need to decide what we're going to do with 72. And I think we're going to have to really look at the growth that's expanding from Knox County. You know, those are all things that are getting to the point where people are not talking about it, they're starting to complain about it.
Right.
So I think that those are three areas that we need to look at.
So you kind of just touched on this, but we'll dive in a little deeper. What do you see as the biggest challenges facing the city over the next 4 years, and what are you most excited about?
Well, to be honest with you, the problems that I see are also the things I'm most excited about, if that makes sense,
Yeah.
because problems tend to create opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in my opinion, one of the biggest, if not the biggest, is going to be the urban sprawl from Knoxville coming this way. So many people talk about the way Loudon used to be. And I remember the way Loudon used to be because I lived through it. And so many people moved to Loudon because of its quaintness. And I laugh because one of the mayors I served under, Inky Sweeney, would always get so mad when people called it a quaint little town. But so many people moved here because of that, that in doing so, they almost destroy the quality that they were looking for. And I think that's something that I don't know if we can manage it. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think we probably need to try. I think we need to decide on what our identity as a city needs to be. But I think growth and plan. I think that is the biggest challenge that we face in the next 4 years.
As a council member, you play a role in adopting the city budget and making decisions about city services, which you mentioned earlier. As Loudon continues to grow, do you anticipate a need for additional employees, infrastructure, or services? If so, how do you balance the needs with responsible budgeting?
Well, I mean, as far as the employee numbers increasing, I think as the population increases, then you should expect the need for employees to increase. Mm-hmm. Because obviously, you know, a 3-man garbage pickup can do 2 runs in the city a week. So we got 2 crews running 5 days a week. Well, if we were to expand city residents by 20 or 30%, mm-hmm. can those 2 crews still do the same thing? Probably not. Right. As far as services, I mean, I think that all we can do is try. Unfortunately, the thing about government is it's almost designed so it won't let you save money. I mean, and I know that sounds kind of weird, but um, I'll give you an example. Years ago, when I was on the utility board, we were going to lay a 12-inch water pipe across the river.
Mm-hmm.
And it was going to cost, I think at that time, $320,000 or $25,000. So I suggested, well, instead of running a 12-inch line, let's run a 16-inch line. A 16-inch line will carry twice as much water as a 12-inch line. We couldn't do it because it was outside the scope of the project. It was only going to cost, on a $320,000 budget, it was only going to cost about $15,000 to $20,000 more because of material cost. So we laid the 12-inch line. Well, if I'm not mistaken, I think they wound up laying another 12-inch line across the river 4 or 5 years ago because they didn't have the capacity out of the single 12-inch line. And it cost $500,000 at that time.
Oh, wow.
So, sometimes you have to think outside the box. If we can do this instead of this, can we still get our objective done? I think that's one of the pluses that I bring to city council. I've made a life out of thinking outside the box, how to get things done quickly and for less cost.
Mm-hmm. So at the end of another 4-year term, what would success look like to you? How should the people of Loudon measure whether you've been successful as a member of the council?
I think in my own mind, I would be successful if 4 years from now, because if I'm not mistaken, and I don't think it's through any fault of the council or anybody here, but if I'm not mistaken, I think we're running at a small deficit in the budget right now.
Right.
And things happen. I mean, unexpected expenditures, cost overruns, price increases. But I think if in 4 years I or anyone who lives in Loudon can say, well, I'm paying the same or less for taxes. My quality of life is better than it was 4 years ago. We've got, this park more available. I've got better garbage pickup. I've got a few more street lights on my street. We've got some more recreational opportunities in town. Then in my mind's eye, or in my own mind, then I think I've done a good job.
Yeah. Is there anything we've not talked about or I've not asked you that you would like voters and the residents of Loudon to know before the election?
I've been a lifelong Loudon resident, and I could not imagine living any place other than Loudon. But I do know that there's so many people moving in here that, and kind of the funny thing, in my old guy moment here, I look at a house or somebody tells me where they live, and I don't think of who's living there now. In my mind's eye, I know who lived there 40 years ago. And Loudon's motto has been proud of the past and focused on the future. And I am proud of Loudon's past. I'm proud of my past service that I have given to Loudon. But I'm also would want people to know that I am not locked in to a particular mindset.
Okay.
I don't want Loudon to go back to the way it was in 1960.
Yeah.
I'd love to see it in 2060, don't get me wrong. But again, I think that's one of the qualities that I have is I remember what it's like to be young. I want everyone, regardless of whether they're from California, Georgia, Mississippi, Wyoming, wherever, to feel like they can enjoy themselves here, be part of our community, and that I am willing to listen to anybody.
Yeah.
Because trust me, we're all in it together. Whether we know it or like it, we're all in it together.
Well, the last day to register to vote for this is October 5th, early voting, October 14th through 29th, and then election day is November 3rd. So it's back on a Tuesday this time. And I just want to say thank you for meeting with me and having this conversation.
Well, thank you for having me.